Boy, what a night for the John Tyler Lions in their district opener this past Friday night at Tiger Stadium in Corsicana. The Lions went out and scored 63 points and beat Corsicana again to open district play. And this week it's on to Lindale for week 2 of the district season. Coach Ricklan Holmes is with us. Coach, first of all, I had never seen a perfect game in football offensively, but you had 9 possessions and 9 touchdowns. Last possession, you got your number 2 offense in the game, and you almost scored again. The penalty kind of wiped out what I thought was going to be a touchdown drive. You almost went 10 for 10. And with the first teamers in there, they did pitch a perfect game.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that before?
I've been around the team probably my junior year and my senior year. We was pretty close to doing that. I think we may have went for I think it was like 7 for 7 or 8 for 8, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. But, you really don't know until the end of the game. You know that the flow of the game is going pretty good, and you're really more keeping up with what's going on with the game versus what you're doing in the game. Mm-hmm. So once we got the information after the game, it was pretty exciting for us and the kids.
It's very, very good. So talk a little bit about what all went right. Obviously, Greg Ward had a big day, but it has to be more to it than just the quarterback.
Well, first of all, offensive line play, something that we've been harping on since the beginning of the season. We had a whole 2 weeks to work on it with the kids and really fine-tune all the things that Coach Smith and I had been talking about to those kids. So, the way they protected Ward is how we've been wanting them to do all year. And we're going to build on that. We're going to continue that process. And then with the skills guys play, and like I said, it started with the line. Once they give Ward the time that he needs back there to dissect defensive like he does, he's able to get it to the playmakers like Fred Ross, Justice Liggins, Darian Flowers, DeQuante Woods, Jeremy Wilson. The list goes on and on and on. Tyus Bowles, you throw him in there. So, with them doing what they're supposed to be doing, it makes the offense look really, really good.
Did Greg even get touched Friday night?
I don't think he got touched. He got flushed out the pocket probably once or twice, which is outstanding for how we had been doing. Yeah. And like I said, that is a big statement for our offensive linemen.
And a lot of people stepped up. And again, we've got about 12 minutes of highlights coming up here in just a bit. Overall, defensively, how did you do?
Out defensively, they did exactly what we wanted them to do. They came out, early in the game, and with the different formations that they have been running and throwing at people, I knew that the first drive or two that our team was going to have to adjust because it's different in practice versus the game. You try to simulate it as much as you can, but you never really can exactly get it exactly how they do it. Right. And I knew it was going to be an adjustment for our kids, but defensively they done a great job adjusting, and as you can see, they only gave up 14 points. So.
And they did they turn the ball over? I mean, you did all this offensively, and did they ever turn the ball over?
No, it was a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of long drives, stop them, and making them punt. So
you had at least 4 drives that were under a minute in that ball game. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's just talk a little bit about how you're able to move that ball that quickly. 2, 3 play drives, bang, in the end zone. That's just, it's just incredible the way things went down.
Well, it comes down to the players that we have. We have some very explosive players. You have Greg back there at the helm, but he's able to get it to some outstanding receivers, and he also has a good tailback to hand it off to now. So with those guys that we do have in the offensive line play, we're starting to be that offense that everybody was used to seeing from last year. So.
All right, so let's get this straight now. Reggie Gibson is now playing in the slot.
He now plays in the slot, and DeQuante Woods now plays in the backfield.
In the backfield,
so
okay.
They done a switcheroo.
But now, having said that, you could switch them back if you had to.
I could switch them back. And a matter of fact, Reggie went back in the backfield a couple of times during the game to give DeQuante a breather, along with Rod Smith, and he's coming along great too.
Who are some of the young men that you got a chance to play at the end of the game the other night that maybe got really some extended playing time, possibly for the first time this year? Who were some of those kids?
That second offensive line got a lot of good plays in. Yeah. You start out with Ken Holmes at the right tackle. Then you have Teddy Attaway at the right guard. Then we moved Neil Davis down to center, so he get some center snaps. And the left guard was Dustin Smith, who was my offensive line coach son. And then the left tackle was LaKendrick Pringle.
Okay.
So you got to see some good play out of those guys. Let them get some, little play action out there. And also at the wide receiver, you had Nick Kane. They got a little bit more playing time, but you seen him early in the year.
Right.
And Rodney Bendy. You got to see them guys. So.
And Devontae Humber was the quarterback at the end of the game.
But you've seen him earlier during the season also. So
who's going to be the quarterback next year, by the way? Who's it between Humber and Kane? Is that the battle, or is
Humber is a senior.
Okay, Humber is a senior. Okay.
He'll be gone. We got a lot of good quarterbacks to look at coming from the JV, also the freshman level, and then you got Nick Kane that's already there on the varsity level. So
he's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. So you got a couple of guys to look at for that offensive, that leader that you want to have back there to make the plays that we need to make.
All right, it's been an incredible run. Jeremy Johnson, who, by the way, scored a touchdown for SMU at Tulane on Saturday. And then David Bush and now Greg Ward.
Yeah.
So those are tough shoes to fill, aren't they?
And they all start out the same. They all start out their sophomore year playing receiver. Just like with Jeremy Johnson, he played receiver. Just like with David Bush, when Jeremy was the quarterback, he played receiver.
Right.
And then when Jeremy left, David became the quarterback. And now when David was the quarterback, Greg was the receiver. So now David was
and
left.
A pretty good receiver too, wasn't he?
So then when David left, then Greg took over. Same thing now, with the guys that we have now. So it just seemed like we pretty much getting a factory of quarterbacks rolling.
I was kidding. We'll get to the video here in just a moment. I was at your practice last Monday, and I was talking to Antoine Bush, your offensive coordinator. Antoine was a very, very good player, but his teams didn't win much. That's been a decade ago. We're right at it. And I was kidding him about that the other night. He was awfully good. Put him on with this group.
Yeah, and they're really good.
And they've been pretty good, wasn't they?
Yes, sir, most definitely.
He was a good quarterback, though, wasn't he? Give your offensive coordinator a shout-out. He's a young guy, too, isn't he?
He is. He's a good guy, and he's young, he's vibrant, and he's not afraid to, take along the pressure that he has, putting points on the board. And he's doing a good job with it. He's handling it well. Yeah. At the beginning, he had that little doubt because he had never done it before.
Yeah, sure.
But like I told him, I got confidence in you. If I didn't, then I wouldn't give it to you, and I wouldn't let you take over. And he stepped up, and he's been doing a great job with those kids.
All right, this is going to take a while, but let's roll some video from the Lions win over Corsicana on Friday night. Just so much went well in that ball game. I mean, Corsicana scored first in this ball game.
Yeah, they did.
And then it was on after that. Here you are on offense.
A little play action draw with Greg, and you see what he can do. Once the hole open up, he just uses his feet and find the hole and get to the end zone.
And everybody, the teams, it's not like the teams are surprised. They know it's coming.
Yeah, you know it's coming. It's one of those deals where, you can prepare for it, but until it actually happens to you, you really don't know how to handle it.
I think that's no way you can simulate it in practice.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody to simulate like him and Brad on the scout team.
It's kind of hard to have a quarterback back there that's as athletic as he is to give you the looks that he's going to give you. So,
I ask again, why can't this young man play quarterback at the college level?
Well, he can, and I tell you what, he's changing a lot of colleges' minds right now.
Yeah.
More and more of the colleges that are coming in that are recruiting our kids right now, more and more of them are coming to that point to where now that doubt of him being able to play college ball at the quarterback helm is changing.
Now, is this Woods with the carry here?
Yes, this is Woods in the backfield, doing what he does with the ball in his hand. Like I say, he's a tough kid, versatile, so he's going to give you a lot of different looks at a lot of different positions.
I love that end zone shot. You really see what the back sees when you.
That is great for our offensive linemen, defensive linemen.
And here's the touchdown. That's DeQuante with the touchdown.
Yeah, because they called him down at, I think, the 1 or the 2.
Yeah.
Because his knee went down, which was a good call. It was a good call for the ref. We had some real good refs this game. I think they called a real fair game. And
they kept let you play, didn't they?
Yeah, they kept the flow of the game going.
Yeah, absolutely.
They kept the flow of the game going. That's what you want. You want them to keep the kids safe, call fair plays, and just keep the game of the flow. Just keep the flow of the game going.
Yeah, they only called 10 penalties on the two teams. I'm sorry, that's they called 15 penalties all night. But that's, for a game that quick, was going like that. Oh, here's Fred Ross. Watch this.
Yeah, just.
You teach him that move?
No, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can teach him. A lot of stuff you can't teach him.
I was going to say
one of them deals right there. That's athletic ability taking over.
Well, he's so smooth. That play struck me as just the quintessential play for you guys, Ward is a smooth operator, and Fred's very fluid too.
Very fluid, and he has that extra gear that a lot of teams aren't prepared for because you never really seen him run full speed yet. You know, so with that said, you know, you really can't prepare to cover a guy like that.
No. So that anyway, that's 3. That's 3 possessions and 3 scores. This is possession 4.
And this goes to Justice Liggins, another deep threat receiver that we have. I mean, if you look at him and Fred next to each other, they kind of look like twins. So They're both big, they're both fast. So
catch is nice, but the throw's perfect.
Yeah, back, you know, you put it right over that DB's shoulder to where only the wide receiver can get to it.
That's the back shoulder fade, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what that's called?
It has to be. Mm-hmm. It has to be. And, you know, the DB wasn't in bad coverage, you know.
That was a perfect throw.
Just one of them balls that you can't get to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 4. So that's 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns.
And the little swing out passes to Reggie. And, you know, it just let us know that, you know, we can do a lot of different things with the ball. You know, we're not just that one-dimensional team anymore to where we have to always throw the ball deep and, you know, make the big plays. We can sustain drives. And that's something that you want to do, especially, you know, when you want to control the clock the way that we want to.
By the way, JT never punted. It was a very easy night for Noe Diaz. He never had to punt the ball.
Yeah, all he had to do was do kickoffs. All he had to do was do kickoffs. So,
I mean, he never punted.
His double duty was voided out on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. All right, here we go. Same drive.
Greg right here going through his Peyton Manning deal, where he makes his adjustments, and this goes to Darren Flowers.
And that was a very smooth play.
Yeah. You know, that's another athletic wide receiver that we do have that actually plays offense and defense. So
Greg was 29 of 32. It's one thing to rack up the big yardage. If you throw enough, you're going to get some yards, right?
Yeah.
But to throw 32 balls and only throw 3 incompletes, that's pretty impressive.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You know, one of them was like a bat down, I believe, and, you know, our defensive lineman just had a good job getting his hands up.
On the money.
Yeah.
Little zip on it, too.
Yeah. He throws a variety of different balls that you want to see a quarterback be able to throw. And that's why he's changing a lot of these colleges' mind right now.
See a little defense here?
Yeah, this is a little fumble recovery that we got.
They were trying to scoop and score. One of your guys was thinking, I think that's, who was that trying to scoop and score?
Looked like Woods that came through that first time. You know, he loves trying to get to the end zone.
Oh, so yeah, he was thinking touchdown. He was mad at himself for not. And here we go again. That's the up high look at it.
You get to see a better view of it on the tight end zone. Just looks like more that he didn't get the ball in the pocket. I think running back kind of took his eyes off of it a little bit, trying to find a hole and didn't quite grab it. And there we go, picking it up and give it back to the offense.
Yep. And that was bad news for Corsicana. You're 5 for 5. This is the 6th drive of the night.
It's a nice cut by DeQuante, getting upfield, getting that first down. A nice swing pass out the backfield. This is the new school cutback.
Yeah.
I mean, new school scat.
That's right.
New school scat.
When you were playing, you used to just pitch it.
Yeah, used to pitch it, not throw it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that was.
And that's something that, you know, me and Coach Bush had talked about earlier in the season, trying to implement some of the offensive scheme that we ran at, you know, when I was running and seeing that it was effective.
Why not just pitch the ball again? Why don't you ever do that?
No, we hadn't done that yet.
Why not?
But there's a lot of stuff we hadn't done yet that we're going to do.
This is DeQuante Woods. He's going to score here. That's 6 for 6. I'm telling you, you'd shock somebody in the modern day of football if you the old pitch sweep every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Well, we got a lot of different wrinkles that we're going to be throwing out week to week. Just keep your eyes open and be tuned in to what's going on.
Okay. Does Alan Wilson ever gripe about this modern offensive stuff?
He used to, until he understood that these kids are different now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff that you can do with them that you couldn't do with us,
Yeah.
and a lot of stuff you can't do with them that you could do with us. So.
All right, they're trying a little flea flicker here.
Yeah,
great coverage.
Defensive play by Trey Johnson. Staying in coverage, not falling asleep, and the trickery plays is what scare defensive coordinators the most, because you tell your kids what to do, and then they do something totally different, and sometimes it throws them off.
Absolutely. He's had a good year for you too.
Yes. Yeah. It's just him staying in cover. That's a good job.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a very good job. I remember that play. All right, now this is your 7th offensive possession. 6 for 6 already.
A little pitch and catch to Darren Flowers once again, racking up yardage, getting the first down, moving the chain.
Had over 600 yards of offense on the night, and this was part of it. Flowers wound up with 3 for 48, but Ross and Liggins, between the two of them, had nearly 300 yards in receiving in that ball.
I think one had 105, 107, somewhere around
something
there.
like that. 156, 157 or 160, something like that for the other one. A lot of yards.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, Richard Gibson had an amazing game. That's another touchdown to Justice Liggins.
7 for 7. And again, the pass is so perfect here, wasn't it?
You got to put it exactly where the receiver's supposed to be, and let him go get it. I think the corner thought he was going to have help by the safety, so he kind of stayed in the flats a little bit, and the safety never moved. But like I was saying, Richard Gibson had an amazing game.
How many tackles did he have?
He had 22 overall
22.
tackles.
All right, I need to
He
write
had
that
12
down.
solos and 10 assists. And a lot of them were made behind the line of scrimmage, so that let you know that he was in the backfield a lot Friday night. And he's starting to become that player too.
He had 5 tackles for losses. How many tackles for losses did he have? Is that him there?
No, that's Tyus.
That's
right
Bowser
there
right there.
Head.
How many
He had a
tackles
good
for
game,
losses
too.
do you remember?
He had to have somewhere around 5.
Okay, all right.
Somewhere around 5 or 7. But just 22 tackles alone, that lets you know. And it was only like 65, 66 defensive plays.
Well, in a game like that you can easily forget the defense, but we can't do that because, other than their 2 big plays, the first possession, and then they actually tied the game
and one
late
of
in
the
the first
touchdowns
quarter on a
came from us
touchdown.
being in good coverage. DB just failed. It was Darren Flowers, and feet got tangled on the turf, and there he went.
Now that's an impressive pass again because that's, over the outstretched arms of the defender. But look at the time he's got back there. That's the thing. The offensive line was so good.
Linemen, they did an outstanding job, and this is what we've been waiting on them to do and preparing them to do, and week in and week out. And that's what preseason is about. Preseason is about finding out what you need to do, how to correct it, and get better at it. And the coaching staff done a great job getting these kids ready, and just doing exactly what I want them to do week in and week out.
This is your 8th possession of the night.
And this is with Rod Smith, a little tough kid. He's not the most athletic kid. But he's a tough-minded kid. He don't mind sticking it up in there between the tackles.
And knows how to run that way.
And knows how to go north and south.
Yeah.
He knows how to do that.
Yeah. A lot to be said for that too.
Yeah, and he's a one, like you see right there. He's a one-cut guy. Boom, go. He's gonna get it up in there. He's gonna stick it up in there and make something happen.
I think the quarter ran out, so you're back going the other way on the same drive.
That's another touchdown play right here.
Tags the pile on and got it. 8 for 8.
8 for 8. It's not bad.
No, I think that's the last one, wasn't it? That was the last touchdown.
Is that the last?
I believe that's the last one. Yeah, that was the last one. So 9 for 9, and we're going to see it one more time. 9 for 9. Okay, Woods had one before that on a run.
Yeah.
So this was the 9th drive by the first team, all touchdowns. Fred Ross gets it in. And on the 10th one, at the end of the game, you put your 2s in there, and they're driving.
They're driving.
And you get the ball inside the 5-yard line, they call a holding penalty on you. And otherwise, you probably make it 10 for 10.
Yeah, probably would have.
I mean, that's very impressive. So can you – now the question is go do it again, right?
Well,
I mean –
the way to make sure that you're able to do and play games like that is what we do in practice. You got to practice like you're going to play in a football game. And I tell people all the time that the way you practice is the way you're going to play. And our kids, they really had a great week of practice last week. They came in focused. They understood what we need to do coming off that bye week. And, you know, they knew exactly how to play that game starting from Monday, not just waiting until Friday. And it showed on Friday.
And Corsicana came out emotional. I mean, they didn't lay down.
Yeah.
I mean,
I expected that from them.
They were trying to compete in that ball game.
They're a very talented team, and they have some guys in place that are going to put them in position to win some football games in the district. I don't see them not making it to the playoffs. I do believe they're going to still make it to the playoffs, and they'll do well in the playoffs. Don't know what division that they're going to go. You have to wait and see how our district falls. But I don't not count them out for the playoffs.
Is this the game you've been waiting for this year from your offense?
Yes. And we've been building up to that because it's a lot of stuff that we didn't do the preseason for the simple fact I didn't want it to be seen right then and there. So you really worked on the small fundamental deals and then get ready to go into the season like we did. You know, now it's district play. Now it's for all the marbles that second season. So, you know, everything is on the table now.
Let's talk a little bit about Lindale. They were beaten by White House this past week. They're just up from 3A to 4A, so they're very small 4A. It doesn't look like, on paper, that Lindale should be much trouble. So talk a little bit about why you know and believe that this game could be much tougher than expected on Friday night.
Well, it's just going to be like any game that we go against. On paper, we've probably been better than everybody we went against on paper. Even the Lancaster game when we lost. On paper, you know, we have the better athletes, as they would say. We have the better team. But stats and max prep and all that stuff, that goes out the window when Friday night comes. So, because everybody's going to play a football game. And that's what we play football for on Fridays, is to see who's going to win and who's going to lose. How you prepare Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday, is going to determine how you're going to do on Friday. And they're going to be well prepared. Coach Meter, he's going to have those guys together. He's going to have them prepared to play John Tyler. John Tyler just has to make sure they're prepared to play Lindale.
Yeah, I don't know that Lindale and John Tyler have ever played football against each other before.
You know, I've been looking through some records, and I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, and again, this is the way, you know, things are now with Lindale moving up and you guys in 4A. What does Coach Metter's team do? What kind of offense, defense do they run?
They are a spread offense. They come with a little tight end personnel package because they like to run the ball too. They have a big tailback that's back there. Their defense is solid, and they are fundamentally sound. You know, they don't make a lot of mistakes. A lot of the plays that they've been getting beaten on is because, you know, the other team was just a little bit better at that skill position than they were. But as far as their defensive scheme and their offensive scheme, they're solid. You know, they're going to do what they're going to do, and they're not going to deviate from it.
Coach Huffstickler's over there
yes,
now,
he is.
too.
Yes, he is, and he's still running that same defense, and it's something that we've seen before, and some of the things we've taken advantage of before, and hopefully we can take advantage of some of those things come Friday.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about you know, the defense, because again, that game like this past week, you know, it'd be very easy to overlook those guys because those eye-popping numbers on the offensive side of the ball. But your defense, week in and week out this year, has been way better than you thought at the beginning of the year, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it was a concern of mine, and it was something that we addressed early. And they are being the defense that we put together, the defense that we are coaching to be the way that they are. And, you know, yeah, 63 points, but you keep forgetting only 14 was scored by the other team. So somebody had to keep giving the offense the ball for them to put up 63 points. And that's what they've been doing. You know, they know that their job is to keep points off the board and to put the ball back in the offensive hand, because we have a better chance of winning any football game that we play with our offense on the field.
Plus, given who you are, your ranking, and how highly respected and in some cases feared that you are coming into a ball game, teams like Corsicana, they'll do stuff, try stuff against you, won't they? That they haven't tried against anybody else, just to try to make something, to try to generate a big play. So your guys, don't they have to be on guard for the unexpected?
You got to be on guard, because that bullseye is on our back week in and week out. And that's something that we put on ourselves, you know, by the way that we've been playing and the things that we've been doing to be successful. Everybody's going to bring you their best game every week. And that's something that, you know, mentally, not just physically, but mentally, you got to have your kids prepared for.
But didn't Corsicana, I mean, didn't you say earlier they threw a wrinkle at you that you hadn't seen, that you know, they hadn't done before, right?
Just the different formations. And what they did was they tweaked some things that they had normally done to throw us off. And we knew that was going to happen, and our kids adjusted well to it.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those things. And ultimately, the players have to do that. I mean, you can't, in a scrimmage, you get to go out on the field with them. But in a game,
you got to wait till they get out the field, and you got to wait till they get to that sideline, and then you got to make those necessary adjustments. A lot of the adjustments that we made, most of the kids made it on the field as the drive went on. So that just goes to show that our kids got a little bit more football sense than most people think they do. So, you know, and that comes with practice, that comes with preparation, that comes with Coach Anderson making the defense simple, you know, and throwing out different formations at them week in and week out to mentally get them ready for that.
We got about a minute left. Let's talk a little bit about the Rank 1 system again, just kind of give folks an idea how they would get to it. It helps with the 9th grade and junior varsity games, finding out where to win, right?
Yeah, because we keep it updated, and the best way to go to it is go to the John Tyler School website. Matter of fact, you can go to TISD main site,
which is tylerisd.org.
tylerisd.org. You can go to high schools, click on John Tyler, it'll take you to the main page, and you'll click on schedules. When you click on schedules, it's going to pull up the website for Rank 1. And then you go in there, and you'll be able to look at 9th grade all the way through varsity scores. You also get to look at schedules, like where they're playing at. And if you actually click on the site where it says, like, let's say we're playing at Lindale Eagles Stadium. If you actually click on that site, it's going to pull you to another page for Google. It's going to be a map, and it gives you the exact directions to it and everything. And I think it's a great program. It's a great tool for our fans to keep up with our high schools, because John Tyler does and Lee does it. So.
All right, so that's that. Again, tylerisd.org is the website. Click on John Tyler and look for the Rank 1 information. And again, that'll help you as you move on, especially for you parents who have 9th graders and JV guys. Coach, good luck on Friday night.
Hey, appreciate it.
All right, the Lions against the Lindale Eagles, and it's at Eagle Stadium in Lindale. A road game, second straight road game, and that's at 7:30 on Friday night. A road game for the Lions. It'll be their second district game, and Coach Holmes and the Lions deserve and need your support as they move forward in the 2012 season. I'm Bill Coates. Thanks for joining us.